in factored form. Step 2 is to state restrictions, but we don't need to do that, guys, because y'all don't have any letters in the denominator. So we're just going to go straight to finding the LCD. So no restrictions needed for this at all. Same exact rules apply. Always follow this process. Look at the first fraction and just copy the denominator. The first fraction has a denominator of a 5. Not a big deal. And then go to your next fraction and write what you haven't written already. I haven't written a 3. So I know my LCD for this is 15. Just multiplying the two denominators together. All right, so this is my brand new denominator right here. So I'm going to draw a single fraction bar, put a 15 down there. Then I'm going to multiply each top piece by what it's missing. So this top piece right here, that 2x plus 3, it had a 5 here, but it didn't have a 3. So we're going to multiply the top of this one by a 3. So I'm going to write it like this. So that other fraction, it had a 3, but it didn't have a 5. But y'all, it's also being subtracted. So remember, you will have to distribute a negative. I'm just going to distribute a negative to the 5 that's missing, like this. And then, of course, just take your time, distribute, combine like terms, and then we'll see what happens next. So when we distribute this, we are going to get 6x plus 9. And then remember, we're distributing a negative 5 because it was a subtraction problem. So negative 5x minus 5. Remember, all of that's over 15. Then we're going to combine like terms. So it looks like our numerator is going to be x plus 4. And remember, that's just over 15. And that's it. That is all I can do with that problem. Nothing else simplifies. Nothing else cancels out. So that's it. And remember, we did not have any restrictions because you didn't have any letters in the denominator. All right, we're going to take a look at number 4, and then on the back of this, on page 2, is really what the test is closer aligned to. But we'll go ahead and practice a lower level problem, number 4, before we move on to what you're actually going to get tested on. Okay, so here we go. We don't need to factor anything, which means we're going to go straight to stating restrictions. And we know that A cannot equal a positive or a negative 2. And remember, after you state restrictions, you go straight to your LCD bubble. So I'll just draw that over here out on the side. And to start the LCD, you just copy the first denominator. The first denominator is an A plus 2. And then you look at the other denominator and write what you have not written yet. The other denominator is an A minus 2. I don't have an A minus 2 in my bubble, so I write it. So that's it. That's the least common denominator. So now I just have to go back and multiply by the missing pieces. So I'm going to draw a fraction bar.
What is the least common denominator?
It's this right here.
You can't simplify that further?
No, don't simplify and don't multiply them. Leave them in factored form. Leave everything in factored form. So this is going to be A plus 2 and A minus 2.
Why don't we multiply them?
Because if it cancels out, we'll have to go back and factor again to see if they cancel out. So just leave it in factored form. Okay, but that's not the case for the numerator. The numerator has to be multiplied. So this first piece right here, that 3, I know that 3 is going to be multiplied by an a minus 2 because there's not one of those in the first denominator. So this is going to be 3 times a minus 2. And then this plus 2 right here, I'm going to recopy the plus sign to remind myself that's a positive 2. This fraction did not have the a plus 2, so that 2 is going to be distributed to an a plus 2. Now, it almost looks like I can cancel some stuff out, but remember, you have to combine like terms in the numerator. Don't worry about multiplying the denominator, but you do multiply and combine in the numerator. So this is going to turn into 3a minus 6 plus 2a plus 4. Recopy that denominator. All right, so once we start cleaning up the numerator, we're going to have 5a minus 2. And just recopying that common denominator one last time. So again, I just want to remind you guys that this minus 2 and that minus 2, do not try to cancel those out. You can only cancel things out when they match identically, or if they're not attached to a plus or a minus sign. That's the answer. Let's box it in. Don't forget to also box in your restrictions.
So you can only cancel like a variable with constant.
Yeah, and you'll see, well, I'll show you
So
mine.
if it's like, so if it's just like 2a,